Welcome to Universal One Cafe. This is the series that we call Woman to Woman, and today we're discussing the number one lie that many women tell themselves while in relationships. That number one lie is it's better than being alone. Now, I want you to think about that for a moment. We tell ourselves that something is better than nothing, and all too often, that something is very abusive, that something is someone who doesn't really care about us, our needs, or anything that concerns us. That something often shows up as emotional, physical, and spiritual abuse. We tell ourselves that that right there is better than being alone. What on earth would possibly make us think that being with someone that's abusive is better than being alone? Well, while I've been on my journey, I used to feel that way. I didn't say it out loud, but my behavior co signed that. I had found myself in relationships with men who were very narcissistic, men who were emotionally unavailable, men who would ghost without a trace. They were Casper. Um, and sometimes I would let them come back. Why? Why do we do this? What is it in the human psyche that feels that something is better than nothing, or it's better than being alone? I found in my journey that when we do not have firm boundaries and standards, we'll take any stray little dog that comes to the door, any little any man that show us interest. Will settle because we don't have any firm standards and boundaries in place. When a woman has firm boundaries and standards in place, that means that she is self aware of who she is and what she wants out of life. When we have firm boundaries and standards in place, that means that we're not going to tolerate certain things and behaviors. Why? Because we know we deserve better and we appreciate ourselves. We have self worth, self validation, self appreciation, and self love. So we've stopped looking to any and everything outside of us to validate us, to make us feel loved and whole. We have gifted that to ourselves. And once we do, we refuse to take anything because we've learned that being alone is a beautiful thing. We get to know the most important person on the planet, ourselves. We begin to love and cherish ourselves, create quiet time and space for ourselves to nurture and refine and rejuvenate ourselves. Nothing is better than being alone. We require individuals to be in our lives that can add to us, not take away from us. And in order to do this, my darlings, it requires to be honest with ourselves. No more lying to ourselves. We're not satisfied and we're not happy. Be willing to let them go. Be willing to trust yourself and trust the universe and say, I know that the universe has my back. I know that I deserve all of the things that I desire and I can have them. We don't have to lie to ourselves and to others pretending like we're so happy. And if we're not pretending, we're complaining constantly to anyone who will listen. I know I used to be guilty of that. How about you? Are your friends burdened and weighed down with you constantly complaining about the lover in your life? How you're not satisfied with how they're treating you? And then you'll talk yourself right back into the relationship with them by saying to yourself and to others, well, it's better than being alone. And some of the lies that we tell ourselves is, I'm too old. No one's going to want me. look at my figure, or my health is not the way I would like for it to be, or my credit score, or I'm not educated, or whatever the lie we tell ourselves to stay in these toxic relationships. My darlings, I'm telling you right now, woman to woman, nothing is more important than you. No one needs to be in that space if they're not honoring you and cherishing you. No one. It's time to be honest with ourselves and state what your needs are. What is it that you really want? I did that with myself, and not only did I talk about it, I wrote it down. I wrote down, what is it that I want in a relationship? I want companionship. I want intimacy. I want love, kindness, goodness. I want a man that's respected in his community, a man that's a leader, that's educated and kind and hardworking, a man that's family oriented, a man that gives of himself in his community, a man that is spiritual, a man who is working on himself constantly in personal development and self growth, a man who's not afraid to cry, to be vulnerable or show his emotions and feelings, a man that's willing to get into the kitchen and help me prepare some meals or do some chores around the house. That's the kind of man I want. A man who is open to communicate and express himself. A man who loves me in the entirety of who I am, my strengths and my weaknesses. A man that's patient and kind. That's what I realized that I wanted. I didn't just want to take any little stray little dog that came to my door talking about, hey, I like you. I'm tired of that. And when we don't have any boundaries in place or any standards, that's what we'll take. That little dude right there, we'll take him. But today is a new day. Today is the day that we be honest with ourselves and gift ourselves the truth. And the truth is, nothing is better than being alone. I want what I want and I can have it. And if it's not showing up in your life, then we have to give it the gift of goodbye. Let it go and forgive ourselves and others for the treatment that we've experienced. It's nothing wrong with starting over where you are. We can have a loving relationship, and the way that we get it is by setting healthy standards and boundaries for ourselves, implementing self worth and self love, validating ourselves and not looking to anyone outside of ourselves to do that for us. It's an inside job. It's no one's job to validate us or make us feel pretty or loved. Those are the things we're supposed to give to ourselves. Because if we're not able to unconditionally love ourselves just the way we are, how is it and how cruel it is to expect someone else to do it for us when we're not able to do it for ourselves? So, my darling sisters, woman to woman, no more lies. Nothing is better than being alone. What's best for us is honesty, choosing to tell the truth and speak our truth and state what it is in our hearts, what it is we truly desire, and trust ourselves and trust the universe that yes, I am worthy and I can have it. Thanks so much for stopping by. As always, until we chat again, keep shining.